got a question for you. Are you happy at work? Now think about it. Less than 20% of people are actively engaged at work. Less than 20% of the people that go to work love what they do. Matter of fact, close to 15% are actively disengaged. Means that they go to work, but they're only showing up. They've already retired, they've already quit, but they still come and get a paycheck. And then about 60% are actively somewhat disengaged. They're not engaged at all. They'll do their job, then they're on their cell phone. You see it. You go into a store, you go to front desk somewhere, and they're on their cell phone. They got the big gulp there. They're eating half a sandwich. They're on the computer, but they're not really working all the time. I'm lucky. I love what I do. I didn't always love what I do. And that's some of the solution to the problem that we have that I'm going to share with you today. Because 40% of the people out there are actively looking for another job. Matter of fact, I think it's closer to 60 or 70%. I've been speaking to dentists, and I looked at dental economics and the ADA news, and what they said is almost 40% of all dentists are really disengaged with their job. Now, you wouldn't think a dentist or a doctor would be disengaged, and the same is true of physicians as well. They're burnt out. They're under a tremendous amount of stress. As a matter of fact, it's a very popular topic today in podcasts. Todd Shire, the periodontist from Houston, he talks about it in his podcast. Kyle Stanley, restorative dentist in Beverly Hills, he talks about the burnout, the amount of stress that we have as dentists. There's a lot of reasons why we have it. I was talking to a consultant today, Lou Kippinger, and he was asking me, he goes, why are so many dentists miserable? He's not a dentist. He doesn't get it because he's a serial entrepreneur. He goes, but I work with dentists and they seem to be miserable. I go, I think part of it is they're just not doing the right work. Now, what does that mean? Being a dentist is not just fixing teeth. It's relating to people, it's running a business, it's hiring a team, it's doing the business, it's knowing how to do the finances, it's keeping the office clean, the physical facility, it's having to be knowledgeable, it happens to be a salesperson, and to do the clinical aspect. And I've talked about this many times, that hospitality is really important, but we're not taught hospitality and human connectivity in dental school or medical school. We're just taught how to do procedures. We're only taught one thing that we do as a dentist, and that one thing may not be what we really love to do. Now, some dentists just love doing surgery. They love picking up a scalpel. They love cutting teeth. They love taking impressions. They love doing stuff. Those are the kind of dentists that on the weekends, they may be home fixing, the blinds or installing a window or working on their car. They just love to do things with their hands. Not all dentists love to do that. I am not one of those dentists that just loves to do dentistry and work with my hands. When I leave the office, I'm not working with my hands. I do other things to relax. It could be like cooking, exercise, playing the piano, working, writing, teaching, lecturing. I mean, those are the things that I do when I'm not in the office. It's not working with my hands. I find that takes a tremendous amount of energy. Now, I love when I do it with the patients because my goal is to make them better. So, what do you do if you're not engaged? Well, find something to do at work or at play that you do love to do. Now, as dentists, we don't work by ourselves. As healthcare providers, we don't work by ourselves. I was watching The Bear the other day, the TV show. It's about a restaurant. And in The Bear, there's a lot of craziness. It reminds me of a dental office, all the chaos going around, really wanting to make great food, but it's not just making great food, it's having to have a nice dining room, having to have the candles there, having to be dressing well, having to get the food delivered, having to pay the bills. There's so many aspects. It's the parallels between running a restaurant and a dental office just go on and on and on. I sort of run my dental office like a restaurant. I think about that all the time. I just don't serve food, I serve dentistry. But what they were talking about, a couple of the characters in the show The Bear were talking about sadness and depression. And one was going through a divorce, and the other one was dealing with addiction and dealing with a crazy family. And they're out, and they both are quitting smoking cigarettes. And they're standing in the parking lot, and one of them wants to pick up a cigarette, and the other guy goes, don't pick it up. He goes, don't pick it up. He goes, how you feeling? He goes, not good. How are you feeling? He goes, not good. Why? He says, because when I go home, I'm depressed. I'm all by myself. He goes, but you're not home now. You're at the restaurant, and there are people there. And the point I'm making is, in a dental office, we're not alone. We're with other people. Unless you practice by yourself with no front desk, no assistant, no hygienist, most of us practice with a group of people, usually 5 to maybe 30 or 40 people. We have a team. And if you work with a team of people, you don't have to do everything. Matter of fact, you can't do everything. And with a great team, everybody works in the areas of their competency, of their unique ability, if it's a well-run organization. In my organization, I stay within my unique ability because I can, and I want all my employees to work within their unique ability. Now, one of the things, I'm going to brag a little bit. I've had no turnover in 18 months. We have not lost anybody. Nobody has moved. Nobody has gotten married and moved away, or gotten divorced and moved away, or died, or whatever. Or quit. Everybody has been there. And that team all works in a unique ability. And I think part of the reason that my team stays, besides we provide a nice working environment, is everybody gets to do what they love to do. Danielle, who I've mentioned before, she gets to be there and make everybody feel happy. Amelia, she sort of organizes things in the back. Liz, she does all the ordering. Jamie, she does the social media. Taylor, she gets to do hospitality. Karen gets to help people with their finances. Ashley, every day she orders lunch for food, and she makes everything really great up front. Everybody does something that makes everybody happy and makes themselves happy. Because that's the true joy in life. When you can make other people happy, when you can lift them up, guess what happens? When you be the gift, as I talk about all the time, being the gift is the greatest gift you can give yourself. And when one works in their unique ability with a team of other like-minded individuals that are servant-hearted, we all work in our unique ability and we lift everybody else up and we love it. So I believe most of my team, and I'll speak for them, when they go home at the end of the day, they feel like we've done some good work today and we've worked together as a team. And I know for some of my teammates, the office is a sanctuary because it's the same every day. We have a certain core values, we work the same way, and we're all pretty engaged. Now, I don't have to tell them to put down the cell phones in the middle of the day. I don't have to tell them to pay attention to the patients. I don't have to tell them to be present. People are. And it's the culture of our practice. And I feel really fortunate. Now, I've been in practice over 42 years. It wasn't this way my first 10 years. It took me a long time to figure this out. But that was my goal, to have this well-running oil machine. And I'm fortunate. I'm 72 years of age today. I don't have to go to work anymore. I can retire. I can play pickleball in Boca Raton and be on the condo board, but it's not what I want to do. My main reason for going to work each day or going to play each day is my team. I love my team, and I love the culture that we've created there because the team and I together, we lift everybody up, our patients, and we work on a unique ability. And the last thing I want to do is not work anymore. I just happen to love it. And I know that that's a gift, and that's a true gift, and I'm appreciative about that every day. I know I went on and on today about it, but I just want to share something I'm really passionate about. So if you're unhappy at work, if you want to quit and go find a job that you want, but most of the time you won't. Try to find something in the environment where you're at where you can do it that you're great at. All right? Our newest employee, Jason, he's great at organizing the laboratory. Matter of fact, he is the best at organizing the laboratory of anybody we've ever had. And he makes everybody else's job easier because he's so good at it. Have a great day, everybody. And remember, be the gift, not only to those you serve, but to yourself as well.